How's your coffee?
Hot.
Do you feel like you drank a lot of coffee this weekend?
I did.
Yeah. I know I had to pace myself. I started drinking tea.
You had to what?
Pace
I drank
myself.
so much coffee, I paced myself. That's a lot of coffee.
But you've always said when you go away to a conference, you drink probably double or triple what you normally would.
Yeah.
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 It was a good weekend though, wasn't it?
Good weekend.
Yeah. Fabulous. La 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 la.
Lanolin. Yeah, here we go. Good day. Afternoon, evening, morning.
All of the things.
We don't get to decide when you hear it.
No, not at all. No, we're just happy that you tune in. We've had several new subscribers, and that always makes
Really?
me happy. Yes, yeah.
The algorithm's growing.
The algorithm may be growing. Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Welcome to another exciting episode, Living Well Together.
Big life in a small town.
Our tiny little town, our
Yes.
tiny town's life.
That we love so much. We haven't been in this tiny little town for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
and
we've been traveling a little bit, which I think is,
had a
it's nice to take a break.
fun party with our family 2 weeks ago, and then we were down in Florida this past weekend for some business. You got to speak.
Teach and talk and share
and
and
talk and
have big
share.
fun.
Yeah.
And before that, it was the holidays. Before that, it was kung fu competition.
Yeah.
Before that, it was a wedding.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to stay home for like a month.
I know you said to me, "What are we doing this weekend?" And I said, "Nothing."
Absolutely
And we were like,
nothing.
"Woo!"
It's going to be like 0
Is it
degrees.
going to be cold still?
Yeah.
Oh, I
do some
didn't expect that. Oh, you going to camp? Just a heads up, I saw those little brown squirrels running around outside
That's okay.
today. It just seems like every time that I see them running around that they are getting in your annex.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been
Just
out there
heads
for a
up.
little bit.
I know.
so
Well, that's what made me
depending on when we get
think of
home,
it too.
maybe I'll take a look
Yeah.
and see.
Guess what I got to do today?
I have an idea, but I'm not going to spoil it.
I got to take Honey to lunch today. It was so fun. We went to
You guys
Ellie's.
had some lady time.
We had little lady time. Yes, little lady lunch time. It
Nice.
was very, very fun. She was so adorable. She actually said to me, because usually if I take my camera out to take a picture, she's like, I don't want to take any pictures. When we were in South Carolina, she's like, I'm going to close my eyes.
Yeah.
It was
But
so
today-
funny. But today she said, can we take a selfie?
Oh,
I know. And I'm like, I know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, sometimes if she's playing with like my external charger,
Right.
she'll pretend that's a
That's my
phone,
point.
and then she will take selfies of herself, but she just doesn't necessarily like it when we take selfies. Like she doesn't
understand.
like for me to
Except for
initiate it.
today.
Except for today. And that was super fun. We split a hamburger and some French fries, and she learned everybody's name that was working at Ellie's.
Okay.
So hello to Callie and Austin and Damien and Dion.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. It was so nice, and she was just so sweet to all of them.
Were they having
She's
a busy lunch there at the
No,
Ellie's?
there were probably only 4 or 5 other tables in there. They had a busy breakfast morning, and so they were just getting ready. And
I know when the weather's good, they do better. When
oh
they got a
yeah,
big
Honey
outside
wanted
porch.
to. Yeah, she said, "Can we sit outside?" And I'm like, "Well,
It's 8 degrees,
in
no.
the spring, yeah, we'll be able to." And I ordered her a car seat for my car because I really want to
It's
be
easier
able
than
to.
the old switcheroonie.
Well, yeah, I just feel like then I can scoop her up if Grace and Graham are okay with that, and we can just go play.
Have a non-day, a lady day.
Yeah, exactly. A lady. Yeah, that's what she says. She doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so she'll say, "Can we go over here and just have lady time?" And that means Dad and
Means no
Paps
guys
and
allowed.
No uncles are allowed to participate.
Right.
But yeah, so it's been a fun couple of weeks, though. It
But
really
on the
has.
go.
But
I'm
ready
looking forward to doing nothing.
Well, it's not really
Doing
nothing.
less. It's just doing it
less
at our
extra
location.
things.
Right.
Less extra things.
No airports, no Ubers,
Right.
no hotels, no Airbnbs,
Yeah.
no.
And really, all of our travel has been so smooth. And even on Sunday, when we were coming back from Fort Lauderdale, we got on the plane in Charlotte, and we were on the runway, and the pilot made basically a U-turn. And we ended up having to go back to the gate for a tail swap, which in airline lingo just means change planes. And so, but they act, and so, you get kind of freaked out and annoyed, and it's like they were having engine trouble. It was the heat was getting too hot.
They needed to fix a little something. And I'd rather figure that out while we're on the ground.
Safety is greater than schedules.
Yep.
And so I was, we were I think everybody on the plane was feeling grateful. Sometimes you get that little bit of annoyance in the pit of your stomach, but they flipped that plane in an hour. And so kudos to American Airlines, because I was very impressed by that. I mean, really, we could, because you start thinking, should I start looking at airports or hotels in the area? Do I need to start looking at other flights? And I just needed to stay peaceful, let God work it out.
Worked out just fine.
Yeah, we were home in time to get together with the kids and had a nice little supper from Old Scratch, which Grace ordered and Lily picked up. So that was really
teamwork makes the dream work.
The dream work, yeah. So, I've been able to open up my schedule a little bit more, and so I had some client calls today, and one of the things that seems to be a theme for my clients, and maybe this is the same for your patients and that you hear it daily, and it's just that they are so overwhelmed by trends and tricks and health advice.
Hacks.
Everybody's
looking for the hack.
And, there's so much chatter, and, you feel like if you're not hitting the newest trend, then you're behind. Like your health is just going to fail miserably. And I mean, do you hear this?
No.
You don't?
No, I thought when you were talking about just chaos, I thought you were talking about just the chaos and confusion in the world.
Oh, well,
like everybody's coming off of the holidays and but if you're watching the news cycle or if you're paying attention to your social media, depending on, there's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people
for sure.
who are less certain. So whether it's uncertainty in your health hack, lifestyle choices, or whether it's your lifestyle just feels out of control and chaotic, the results are going to be very similar. Just the reason might be different.
Well, that really is true, and we've touched on that a little bit more. And so this was kind of a newer, not really that much new, because when I am scrolling on social media, and I like to, I scroll with a purpose.
Okay.
As somebody who does health coaching, I want to see what people are hearing out there. And so I will go through, and I am, I follow a lot of other health coaches and different types of wellness facilitators.
Okay.
And you do get overwhelmed. You hear all of these different things, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I need to be doing that. Maybe I need to be doing that. And you can't do it all. And
it's also frequent. It's so frequent that things change.
Yes.
Coffee's
daily.
bad for you. Coffee's good for you.
Yeah.
Wine is bad. Wine is good. Eat more fat. Eat less fat. Everything is, it's chaotic because it's changing. There's a lack of consistency in a lot of messaging.
But I feel like it's just people trying to have a voice in the industry.
Oh, well, you want to get likes and clicks and shares.
Right, and follows, yeah.
And now it's getting weird because with AI, you don't know what's true and what's false.
True.
And we learned this today or this weekend at our conference. AI doesn't make things truthful.
I know.
AI makes things based on repetition.
Yeah.
And that is scary because you can load AI to trigger whatever response that you desire.
Yeah.
And some people use their powers for good and some people use their powers for evil.
Right.
And so it's getting tough to know what's truthful.
Yeah.
And so part of what I like, and we've done this forever, our messaging has always been simplicity.
Yeah.
And common sense. You need not be a genius level thinker to understand how your own machine works, how your own body works.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you can trick it. Can you override it? Can you fool it? You could, but if you just learn the rules and follow some basic things. Is that kind of where you wanted to go?
Well, yeah, because it's disseminating all of the information, understanding that just because even your sister might be able to do one thing, that might not be the right thing for you. And being able to get on a path and stick to the path. You have to give each new thing that you try time to work. Otherwise, your body just becomes dysregulated as well. And you end up taking way more supplementation or way more peptides or way more food that might
Well,
not
the
be the best
American
for
way
you.
is more is better.
More is not
We
better.
just think more is better.
toxic.
And we've got people that are taking 10 and 12 and 20 supplements individually and at different times a day and how many times. I mean, it's crazy. And most of the time, they don't even know what they're for.
Right, exactly.
Now, to be fair, they also take a lot of medication, some of these folks.
Right.
And they don't know what they're for. So it's really kind of, and there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion about some of that stuff.
So if people aren't working with somebody that can coach them, it's really important to like write down everything that you're doing, analyze it for yourself, like write it down. Why do you think you're taking it? Is it helping you? You know, is it supporting you? There's foundational things like B vitamins and a whole food multi that everybody should take. But that's
Well, the
just
challenge is you can't get the nutrients that you need from your food anymore. So when we talk about supplementation, everybody thinks it's optional. I'm going to tell you right now, the research will tell you it's not possible to get nutrients from food. I have a farmer that we take care of, several farm families from up north. And it's so funny. Last night, we're having a conversation, he and I, about, he's noticing that the no-till crops are not, you can see the light bulb coming off. Like maybe Roundup's not good. Maybe no-till's not good. Maybe this, every time I till the soil, I use less chemistry. And so you could see his brain just going back to the days before all this modern farming. It was fun to watch. Like you could see a light flicker and like, I might be doing this wrong, or we may be led to believe.
So he does use Roundup right now?
He's a traditional farmer doing traditional farm things based on ag science.
Yeah.
And so, but he's starting to get a feel for the rhythm of the earth. And it was kind of fun to just kind of, grab a thread and just pull it a little. And I said, wait a minute, you mean that if you work with the planet, if you work with the rhythm of the planet, if you stir the microbes, they're more active? It seems like it, so it's kind of fun to lead people a little bit and ask questions and let them discover in their own minds and hearts that, there's some things that we might not be,
So if he decided that he didn't want to do conventional farming, what would that look like for him?
It would probably look like economic disaster
in the beginning,
on the front end.
Yeah.
But, the reason that the grocery store has an organic section is because there are people who are choosing differently based on research, literature, knowledge. We talked a little bit about this with one of our recent episodes. So, but that's a little bit of clarity coming from some chaos. And it was just fun to see. I mean, it was neat to see his conversation forming in his own mind about like old school might have been a better way to do it. And now they've got seeds that aren't the same as they used to be, and they've got soil that's not as nourishing as it used to be. And
does he doesn't really know what to do with that then?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, we didn't have a half an hour's worth of conversation, but what we had was this little bit of awareness, like, bro, I think you're on the right track. If I can help you, with those thoughts and ideas, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
But farm families work so hard for so little. And they've been led to believe that, the new ag is the best way. And now you're seeing guys that are 50, 60, not quite 70 years old who are saying, you know what? I'm not sure we were told the whole truth about some of these things. It's just kind of fascinating.
And isn't that true across the board?
Of everything. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Just figuring all
with
that
health.
out. Yeah.
And so when you look at...
But you're right. As far as supplementation goes... usually you can, because a lot of my clients come to me and they share their supplement list. I want to know what they're taking right away. And so even just right in the beginning, even before we come up with a plan for them, when I see overlaps, I'm like, just set this one aside. You don't need both of these. They're almost identical, but you read about it or your friend's taking it and she's like, this has really helped me. And then you want to add that into your routine. But I kind of think of it as like when I buy a new shirt, I get rid of an old shirt. And so when I get a new supplement, I need to be replacing something else that's already in my supplement cabinet.
Okay.
And I think it's a good idea not to stay on the same thing long term. I think it's good to cycle things quarterly. Even the brand of B vitamins, as long as they're stable and pure and from good sourcing.
Well, and that's important too, to know that not all vitamins are created equally. Right. We've talked about that before too, not to whip that thing into a frenzy.
No.
But no, not all if they're created, I think there's 3 like 3 major supplement companies do 90% of the production of vitamins. They'll change the label.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they'll change the price, but it's the same product.
Probably is. And is that those are more of the conventional ones that maybe
those are what you're going to get on the shelf at Costco or Walmart or Kroger.
CVS, Target.
But a lot of health food store stuff too. I mean, they'll call it health food store, but at the end of the day, there really is only subtle, if any, difference in the product, significant difference in the label and the price.
Right. Well, and that's why we have been so meticulous in the office to look for the brands that are really stands outs for us.
Yes.
That they're the
Clean.
Integrity and the purity and the standards of excellence and the consistency that we get have been so important to us. And, we've added different supplement lines along the way because we have found them to help us first. And then it's like, okay, now let's share because there's something to this.
Well, and you're the one who does the homework on that. You'll say, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I know you've done the research. I don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, the Symbiotica brand, I think, is phenomenal. I love their innovative formulas. And
some of that's starting to show up in Fresh Time now.
Yep, they are.
They may not carry a full line in the grocery, but they're going to start introducing some things, which at least exposes people so they can give it a try.
People, yeah. If you tap into our resources, we can usually save you 20% or so.
Oh, that's true.
So it's always
not that money matters. Most people have so much money they don't care. And they keep a big jar, like a coffee can, full of money that they can buy their supplements with.
They probably should.
Nobody does that.
That used to be the day. My grandparents used to keep, the
vacation fund,
an old coffee can. Yeah.
Right. Now you'd have to stuff it in one of those little Keurig cups.
Yeah. So, some of the trends are, the keto versus anti-keto, carnivore fasting. I've kind of gone on tangents about, like you say you fast every night from after dinner to
breakfast
to breakfast, and that's considered
or sometimes
fasting.
dinner to lunch.
For some women, though, fasting isn't a smart idea.
No,
it wrecks their hormones, and one of the patterns and rhythms that I suggest to them, depending on their individual needs, keep that in mind, is something that I call my signature cycle, and it's doing protein power up days one day, so no carbs at all, no fats, real low fat. And then alternating with a feast day. And it's a new rhythm. It's almost like intermittent fasting, but it's not as harsh. You're still feeding the body so it doesn't freak out and the hormones stay pretty even. Well,
the key word there is rhythm. And interrupting an existing pattern is how you establish a better new pattern.
Right.
So knowing that you can modify things based on the individual's needs, not just one size fits all, is kind of a big deal as well. No two people are the same.
Right.
So, excuse me, it's important to get that. People will say, well, gosh, my sister did this and it was the grapefruit diet and she lost 30 pounds.
Right.
Well, losing weight's not the issue.
Yeah.
Frankly, reestablishing hormone balance and normal metabolic patterns is the issue.
Right.
Like if you want to get super skinny, heroin will make you skinny. You don't, losing weight is not the thing.
Yeah.
Balancing natural chemistry, balancing the natural rhythm of the body, balance in the nerve system. These are all things that help. The body will find its own naturally appropriate weight if you just do more of the right things.
Yeah.
You don't have to trick it.
You don't have to trick it, but sometimes you have to give it more of a boost.
A little bit of a jump start can be helpful. I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
Just, like I said, we get into this trendy stuff. And, if you try to live on meat and eggs and cheese for the rest of your life, it's going to be a hard life. You're going to get old fast. Will you lose weight in the beginning of that experience? Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Can you do it forever and stay healthy? Question mark.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is, I just want people to know that they're allowed to eat. Sometimes they just don't even know what they're allowed to eat anymore. And it puts them into, what is it? It's flee, freeze, and what are the things that happen?
You mean fight or flight?
Fight or flight, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
fight or flee, something like that.
Flight or freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
which is important too. Anytime there's chaos in the system, digestive health is suppressed.
Right.
And there's a tiger chasing you. Digestion is a low priority in that moment.
Exactly.
So when there's a stressful situation, whether it's emotional, spiritual, chemistry, finance, whatever's creating a stressful experience for you, suppresses digestion immediately. So hormones aren't balanced, cardiac function isn't balanced, gut function isn't balanced, everything's on hypersensitive, vision, cognition. There's a lot of things that change when there's a stressful chronic stressful situation. So
Yeah, and that's what most people are feeling right now. But what I'm trying to do is like calm the chaos that's in social media about the things that they're allowed to eat or supplement with.
yeah.
And a lot of times, like you said, consistency is more important than novelty. The Garden of Eden is the perfect example of that. It's tried and true, just eating from the Garden of Eden. So I think that's important to understand too. And then the hormone panic culture, I think, is a big thing. There's a lot of people that will jump on that. And yes, we do need hormone balance. And yes, we do need to avoid toxicity in us, on us, and around us to help our hormones function better. But I feel like there's a lot of fear that's been served up in relationship to hormones. And getting your hormones balanced or in rhythm, like what we were talking about, is as simple as getting a blood test.
Yeah, blood work won't lie.
No, you got to start somewhere.
You do.
And guessing about your hormones without seeing your labs is just you chasing something that doesn't have. And
you can spend a lot of money and a lot of time and set yourself up for a lot of failure if you don't know.
And feeling worse.
100%.
So
cortisol, epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline. These are all things. When I tell you mention hormones, everybody thinks it's about sex hormones.
No.
And it's not. There's a lot of other chemistry in the body that needs to be balanced if the body is going to function in a normally balanced way.
Right.
And so knowing about stress hormones and knowing about their impact on sex hormones is a big deal too. If there was a tiger chasing you, sex would be a low priority, right?
Exactly.
And so
but you would
hormones,
need that adrenaline and
you would need all the other,
all
the
other
chemistry of
things
stress is appropriate. It's just not meant to be a lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the marketing message is everything I feel must mean something is wrong. And your body is simply just giving you clues to follow a path.
Well, it's not meant to feel good all the time.
It's not meant to feel good all the time.
It's meant to heal good. It's not meant to feel good all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And so reestablishing normal rhythm is not always comfortable, in all honesty. If you're getting rid of parasites, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be necessary.
Right. And it doesn't have to be miserable. There are ways that you can get rid of parasites, truly, that are not miserable. And your body on the other side of that is going to feel so much better. So
faster, leaner, sharper.
Yes. Brain fog. I mean, there's so many ways that parasites affect us negatively.
Talk about peptide balance, though. Some of the biohacking stuff with peptides. Give me that.
Well, there's so many different kind of peptides.
How many?
Just looking.
Ballpark.
Oh.
Hundreds, thousands, dozens?
Yeah, okay. I would say between 60 and 80 that are kind of talked about.
So dozens.
Dozens of them. The ones that we hear about the most right now are the weight loss peptides.
Right.
There are right now.
And they're vilified in some circles and they are praised beyond recognition in others.
Praised by
What's
me.
the difference?
Yeah.
Why would somebody vilify them?
Well, I mean, that goes back to what we talk about as far as, people that are using weight loss peptides, whether it's semaglutide, which would be Ozempic, tirzepatide, which would be Mounjaro, or retatrutide, which is the triple acting GLP-1 that's out now too.
Yeah.
And so the people that are getting off their diabetes medication and they are off their blood pressure medicine and statins and all that.
Wait a minute. Even if I'm getting healthier on my peptides, I'm using fewer pharmaceutical products.
Exactly. And and Walmart is, their snack sales are down like 27%. So even big food is alarmed and have had, I'm sure, some control over the chatter from a couple of years ago. It truly is not vilified anymore. We were out on the fringe several years ago and took a lot of heat for that, but what we saw was only good things that came from it.
If you do it proper.
If you do it properly.
That is also not a one-size-fits-all.
That's not a one-size-fits-all. And when you do the preloaded syringes that are the ones that you...
Yeah, it's got a given dosage and it's individual.
And so that's them thinking one-size-fits-all.
Right.
But it doesn't. So the way we do peptides is you talk to a functional nurse practitioner. She decides if this is the right fit for you, how much you need, how often you need it.
Based on blood work.
Based on a consultation, Hormones would definitely be a lab test, but we
Right.
don't necessarily have to start GLP-1s with blood work.
Okay.
Actually, most of the only time we 100% need labs is for hormones. Most of the other peptides, depending on symptoms, we can get clients started on those right away.
So VPC,
BPC 157.
thymosin A. There's a lot
So
of
BPC
other things that are. Again, these are. What's the difference between peptides that you would buy and peptides that your body makes? Peptides are a natural substance in the system. So what's the difference? Why would I need to supplement peptides as opposed to the ones I got?
Well, peptides are just amino acids.
Right.
They're
Which my body's
different
already either
strands
making or I'm
of
already consuming.
amino acids, right?
Right.
Yes.
So why would I need?
So if
to
we're
supplement
talking
that?
about specific peptides like BPC 157 or PDA, which they're cousins, the two biggest benefits that I get with clients that are on one of those peptides is gut healing, really fast gut healing, and also joint, ligament, muscle rehabilitation a lot faster using those types of peptides because they're going in there and they're actually
Do I have to use them for
triggered.
the rest of my life?
You do not have to use any of these for the rest of your life. I think of them as just a signaling molecule that goes in and bumps the body into doing the right thing.
Okay.
It's just a bump. It is not overriding the
What
system.
about my multivitamin? Do I need that for the rest of my life?
I would encourage multivitamins for the rest of your life, because if you tried to eat all the food that you get from a whole food multivitamins like Catalin from Standard Process, you would be eating all day long, and I don't know that you could metabolize all of it.
Right.
So you do need some.
So supplements are a good choice.
Yes.
Again, depending on basic body function.
Yeah.
Peptides are going to be a temporary gap filler or a jump start. And so does that help eliminate maybe some confusion? Because what we talked about was just the chaos in the messaging around
The chaos
us.
in the messaging. But I mean, it really is going to depend. And then the other peptide that I really like is the thymosin A or LL-37. And those are immune modulating peptides.
Okay.
They're the peptides that we use before and after travel, especially when we're flying, because of that canned
additional
air,
immune support,
just
right.
additional immune support. But it goes in there and it helps with the lymphatics. It helps with the thymus. Thymosin is helping the thymus.
Okay, so let's pretend we
So-
don't know any of this. Let's pretend you and I are starting over today, and we are new on this journey of how do we get our health back. It's a new year. It's a new me. I want to start doing some things that I know are going to be super basic, not terribly expensive, but they're going to help me have more energy, lose weight, feel better about myself, sleep at night, some of those things. If I was going to start from scratch, where would I start?
Wow. Start from scratch, and have they come into the office to get adjusted yet?
Well, no, but
Because that, to me, that's always what I tell people first. You do not know what your body is capable of until you are not subluxated
so
anymore.
nerve system regulation is
Yes.
kind of paramount. In other words, your hormones can't be balanced if your nerve system isn't
Yes.
balanced. Your immune system can't be
100%.
balanced if your nerve system isn't balanced. Your metabolic rate can't be balanced if your nerve system is misbehaving.
Yeah.
So spinal injury produces neurological injury, which produces body balance or a change in body balance structurally, neurologically, chemically, emotionally, spiritually. They're all connected. So yes, chiropractic care is designed, at least in our practice, chiropractic care is designed to help the body re-regulate neurologically. Then your brain and your pancreas are talking better. So they're going to remodulate
Right.
your brain and your gut talking better. You get out of sympathetic dominance, which would be considered fight or flight physiology. And the body says, hey, now I can digest food. Now I can set, my sex hormones back. Now I can get some sleep at night because my cortisol is more manageable.
Right.
So chiropractic care is just designed to help the body reset itself and stabilize in that way. But I'm still going to need some nourishment. I may need a jump start.
So, and that's just it. Once somebody has gone through at least the initial care plan, that's 12 to 16 adjustments.
It's going to be
or
it's
being
going to
checked?
be it's going to be at least probably somewhere between 2 and 6 months.
Okay. Yeah.
To kind of just hit a new baseline.
And I'm such a 90-day person. I think of
I'll say
life
90
in
days,
quarters.
but that might be a little. It depends on your
It
situation.
depends on your
But
situation.
90 days is tight.
So once they have started, their nervous system has started to regulate, then the next step is probably to run labs, but it's going
I
to
was gonna say
depend
blood work.
on their situation. Like,
I think blood work is smart even before your
I do
chiropractic care.
too. Well, and
Let
then
me
when
get
you
some
run
pre's
it
and posts.
again,
Right. Let me get
it's
some pre's and posts. We
pretty
see it all the
impressive.
time.
Yeah.
My thyroid was whacked and I
Yeah.
got adjusted and I went through my initial care plan and now my thyroid is rebalanced. My hair's not falling out. My nails feel better. I'm sleeping at night, things like that. So I like starting with labs.
Yeah, and I think labs are so fascinating. It gives us like a really microscopic look into what's
can't fool
running your
them.
body.
They don't lie.
Right. And then you can rerun labs, or you can do saliva, or you can do urine rather than doing blood. I like people to protect their blood supply.
Sure.
So I don't like to run blood labs, constantly. I'm not going
But
to have.
litmus paper, monitoring your pH.
You can monitor. Yeah, there's a lot of different
There's
ways.
a lot
that
of
you can
ways
do that.
to take a look from the inside.
Yeah. And so that would be the thing, because like what we're saying is nobody is the same.
Right.
It's not one size fits all. So it's going to depend on that person's.
Start from where you are, not where you wish you were.
Exactly. So for us, it's kind of hard to say, well, if we were in that situation, because it's like, well, would we go back to when I was 20 and what would I do then? Or when I'm 62 almost, or start there.
But the goal is still the same. Whether you're 2 or 62, the goal is to do two things, really. You got to create sufficiency. There needs to be the vitamin and minerals that the body needs to just do normal metabolic things in a normal metabolic way. And the other thing is reducing anything that's blowing it up or creating toxicity, right? So if there's too much load, that's going to create a problem.
Yeah.
So you want to minimize toxicity and you want to maximize sufficiency of the nutrients. And that's a nice way to just foundationally say, let me get a new year, new me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not that I want to add to your trend overload, but I'm really hot on minerals right now. I feel like people are very depleted from what I've seen in their labs.
They used to be in the soil, and they used to be in the food,
but
and they
it's
farmed
creating
them
a lot.
out.
Yeah.
Like
Iron
I said, I
levels.
had just such a neat conversation with this guy who's been farming his whole life.
Yeah.
He's a third-generation farmer, and he's questioning the integrity of the things he's producing, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And like I said, you could just see the
so
light
hard,
flickering
right?
above his head. It made my heart so happy.
Yeah, but you know what he's in for.
Well,
he's
he's going to be swimming
choices.
upstream. But you know what? They talk, these guys. There's a community of these people, and they'll be like, you know what I'm noticing? You know what I'm noticing? You know what I'm noticing?
Yeah.
And there's a movement. And like we had like our last episode or maybe the one before where we were talking about there's now some administrative change that says, let's take a look.
Yeah.
It's not that it's all wrong, but let's ask some questions to see what we can do to turn it around. So if you're feeling like chaotic and overloaded, step back, shut off your social media, quit following 14 gurus, and
Stop
get a
watching
little bit
ads.
of basic common sense and learn how to trust your body again.
So, and that's something that I wanted to talk about, because there are clues that your body can give you personally. Clues that your body can give you. One of the posts that I just made in my private Facebook group, which you guys are welcome to join if you would like to, it's called The Living Well Experience, and you can just find it on Facebook. It is private, so you'll have to request in. But I just did a post about what your tongue tells you. And so it's, stick out your tongue, let me see. I knew you weren't going to.
Not gonna do it. Yeah. I can lick my eyebrows. No, I cannot.
So I have 9 different pictures of tongues.
Right.
It was so funny. I showed it
Cracks,
to Honey at lunch today.
crevices, patches, colorization.
All the different things. And it tells you something about the health of your body.
Yeah.
So I'll pop a picture in here. Maybe Graham can help me pop a picture in there because it's very interesting. The one that was the grossest was the black tongue.
Hello.
It is, it's a hormone thing that happens there's like little hairs that grow up.
I don't even want to talk about this.
And then because of coffee or tobacco or different things that you eat, those little fibers turn black.
Ooh.
And so it is just like a dysbiosis situation, but it is disgusting. The picture that I have on my graphic, it does not do the whole thing justice, that's for sure.
So it's funny because remember, like it used to be that like your medical doctor, when you went, they had a tongue depressor.
Yes.
And they would say ah.
Yeah.
I always just thought they were looking at the uvula.
Well,
Like,
I think they were looking at tonsils and, the glands back
uvula
there.
deviation tells you neurological things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't think they were looking for,
No, they probably weren't.
black tongue.
If you had a homeopathic doctor or a naturopathic doctor, they would have been,
Those guys were outlawed a long time ago.
So another thing, so that was something about the tongue. So the other thing is look at your ears. If you have a diagonal ear crease, this is called Frank's sign. It can indicate circulatory stress, cardiovascular burden,
right,
long-term inflammation.
right.
So that's an interesting thing. So you guys can start examining each other.
Check out each other's
or
earlobes.
just check out your own self in the mirror.
You'll notice it on strangers, though.
Yeah,
like
I know.
There's some weirdness.
If you're sitting near somebody. I've talked about this before, but thinning in the outer eyebrow, the tail of your eyebrow, that is usually indicative of thyroid, underactivity of the thyroid.
What if your eyebrows are just turning white?
Well, that just matches your hair.
Then I'm good.
But so, and you'll know, but it's just usually a nutrient insufficiency. Dark circles under the eyes is another thing, or puffiness. That's usually lymphatic congestion. It can be poor
food
sleep,
allergy.
but it could be food allergy. Milk, a lot of times,
Dairy is usually the biggest offender.
A big dark circle. Can also indicate inflammation. If you have dry, cracked lips, a lot of times that is a B deficiency.
Or hydration.
So it can be dehydration, but if you're drinking enough water, what you perceive to be enough water, which would be half your body weight in ounces each day, then you likely would need to add minerals. It's not being absorbed.
I was going to say water will keep you wet, but that's hydration and has to include
different.
minerals. Yeah.
Adding minerals, then I think is super important. I have some liquid ones that I recommend to clients, or just adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of honey can help with that. Brittle nails or vertical ridges, usually that's a mineral depletion. Also can indicate low protein intake or uptake. It might be that your body's not, your acid levels
Eating plenty,
are off.
not absorbing much.
Yep. Hair thinning at the temples or crown is usually hormonal shifts. Could also be nutrient, could also be stress load. But those are just a few of them that I grabbed that I used when I did nutritional counseling here at the office, where I was looking at people face to face. Now I have them fill that out in their intake.
Right.
And but no, everybody take a look at yourselves in the mirror when after you watch this. I'll be curious to see what you think about yourself. And then just reach out if you have questions.
More will be revealed
More
later.
will be revealed. I thought that was fun, though. I love that our body doesn't lie and that it gives us clues all the time.
We've been taught to ignore it until it's in the emergency room. We just got to start paying more attention.
Paying more attention, because the best advocate is for your own health is you. You know more about your body than your doctor does, or Google does, or anybody else. So,
cool.
Yeah, stay tuned.
What else?
Like, subscribe, follow, and comment. We really do appreciate you guys for watching.
Have big fun.
Okay, see you
next
later.
time.
Bye.